Doctor, we are live now. You can start the session.
Good evening, friends. It's always a pleasure to see all of you again. As you all know, we had a successful Tnoa mid-year Galata meeting 2 weeks back at Idle Beach, Mahabalipuram. And more than 80 delegates participated, which was a huge success. We had the wonderful opportunity of felicitating all the past presidents and also giving the Service Above Self Award to 2 non-ophthalmologists. And of course, the Pride of India Award to Appasamy posthumously. And of course, all the past presidents who deserve this and much more, the Pride of Tnoa Awards, which was a great honor for the Tnoa. And we are very, very blessed to have such past presidents. Friends, we are in almost the 7th month since I took over as the president of the Tnoa way back in September 2021. And during the 7 months, we have done close to about 32 webinars, covering every subspecialty of ophthalmology, covering every aspect of ophthalmology, even including the non-medical aspect, and giving a 360-degree coverage as far as ophthalmology is concerned. And this Walk the Talk series, which is being conducted every Saturday, first Saturday of every month, since September 2021. Since October. And the first one was Dr. Siddharthan. The second one in the month of November was R.D. Ravindran. Then we had Dr. Ramurthy. Then we have Professor Vasanta. And then we had Dr. R.V. Ramani of Shankara, Coimbatore. Last month, we had Arulmozhi Varman of Uma Eye Clinic, Chennai. And this month, we have none other than the giant of ophthalmology, in my opinion, the hero of the day, the role model couple, Dr. Madhivanan and Shalini. I always include Shalini because I know that Madhi's success to a large extent is attributed to the work, supplementary effect, which is done by Shalini as well. Dr. Madhivanan does not require any introduction. He is a superstar of ophthalmology. He is a forerunner. He is a game changer. He is a guy who has been the first in many things. And this Walk the Talk series has become very, very, successful, appreciated by one and all. And the main idea of the Walk the Talk is to get the idea of their journey, which they have come from scratch to this level, to get inspired, to get motivated, and get rejuvenated by the luminaries of Tnoa. And this Walk the Talk series is being appreciated by all other associations as well. In fact, today in Delhi also, many people were asking me, why you're not calling me for the Walk the Talk. I said the Walk the Talk is only for the luminaries of Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association this year. Next year, when I become if I become the vice president of AOS, I'll do it for the AOS also, with your blessings.
Yes, sir.
But truly, when I started this Walk the Talk concept, I never expected this to become so successful. For the simple reason, Madhi was just mentioning a few minutes back, because we thought every success story will be the same. Every path will be the same. But unfortunately, and fortunately for all of us, it is not the same. There are many ways to skin the cat and many ways to attain the pinnacle of success. And each of these Walk the Talks, if you start from the Siddharthan, RDR, Ramurthy, Vasanta, R.V. Ramani, Arul, everybody, each of these Walk the Talks gave a different perspective to us, opened our eyes, saying that there are many ways you can attain the pinnacle of success. And these people are here to be emulated And probably you can reach the ladder of success, go up the ladder of success much faster than what you can imagine. Again, TNOA has been the forefront. The theme of the TNOA this year is Tamil Nadu smiling and TNOA shining. And we have been doing that exactly for the past almost 6.5 months. The first Friday of every month is the TNOA ARC PG Catalyst Masterclass, which has become a huge hit. And tomorrow we are inaugurating the Gurukulam TNOA, the first of its kind, wherein all the 4 Sundays of April, starting from tomorrow from 8 to 1, we have got close to about 20 top faculty from India, from all over the country, on talking about various aspects which are going to be useful for the PGs. I'm thankful to Dr. Chandrasekhar and Dr. V.R. Vijayaraghavan for spearheading this Gurukulam TNOA, which has already received wide appreciation. And tomorrow is the inaugural session at 8 o'clock. I sincerely request all of you to come because everybody is on the Zoom in that Gurukulam. It's not on the YouTube or the Facebook. All the people, close to about 280 registrants, postgraduates have registered for this Gurukulam, which I'm sure is going to be a huge success as well. Then we have the TNOA Connect series on the last Sunday of every month, connecting various institutions. All the major institutions in the country are in Tamil Nadu, most of them. We thought, okay, let us connect each of these institutions with one subspecialty of ophthalmology, like cornea, cataract, glaucoma, oculoplasty. And we have been doing that successfully with a wide appreciation. Apart from that, we have the Publish and Prosper. We have the Ophthalmic Photography Competition, the Ophthalmic Video League, the Innovative Spotlight. We have got the program for the paramedical people. We have had the programs on World Diabetes Day. We had programs on the World Sight Day. And you name it, every sphere of activity, TNOA has touched this in a short period of about 6 to 7 months. It is not as because of a single man effort. I know it's the entire team which has worked. It is like the Indian cricket team, which has worked behind me to make this a grand success. I'm thankful to the President-elect, to Vice President, Secretary, and the Treasurer and all other office bearers of TNOA to be behind me, solidly supporting me in all these ventures. Friends, today we have none other than Dr. Madhivanan Natarajan. And before we go on to the formal introduction of Dr. Madhivanan Natarajan, we have our dynamic Vice President, Dr. Nilmal Frederick, here with us, and he will say a few words. Welcome, Nati. Nirmal, over to you.
Thank you, President. It's indeed a great pleasure to be part of this Walk the Talk series again. And I was doubly happy to join because Madhi sir was my president when I was the secretary. I learned a lot from him, not only the TNOA work, but also been associated with him for the mega camps he used to organize in Melmarvattur, and also a huge support to us during the work related to the Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Journal. And Sir and Chalini, as you rightly said, was really the force behind us for indexing the journal and bringing it to this level. And their support made a lot of difference. And I'm eager to know their secret, as we discussed before. So each great man have their own way of doing things. And Madhi sir has been one of the forerunner and, as you rightly said, thinking out of the box. His administrative skills are enormous. I think most of us know that. But behind that, there is a strong will to do and quickly finish it, like the Dhoni, who is who maintains his school and is considered as one of the great finishers of the game. Same way, Eman sir is, we have seen him do mega camps, mega events, and also bring up his family to this level with all the kids and the the wives of the sons coming into the field and taking this a huge family. Eman family has really have been a forefront, guiding us and showing us how this could be run. So I'm eager to know the path they traveled and also the secrets he's going to share with us so that it will be helpful to all of us. And thank you, President, for giving me this opportunity and looking forward to this Walk the Talk series. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmal, for the wonderful words as usual. And over to our dynamic secretary, Dr. Madhivanan, to say a few words. And then I'll go on to the introduction of Madhi.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Dear President and luminary of the day, the hero of the day, Dr. Madhivanan sir, Dr. Natarajan sir. Very good evening to you all. Today started in a very sober note for our medical professionals, where we were protesting against the unfortunate passing away of Dr. Archana Sharma at Rajasthan. And we all voiced our support and wanted a legislation to bring about legislation, central legislation to tackle violence against doctors. And in this context, the nuggets of information from our luminaries, like Dr. Madhivanan sir, will go a long way for all our medical professionals who are starting their medical career, or also for all the other medical professionals to know how to tackle, how to go about, what is the recipe of success, both in the family and in the professional manner. And I'm sure today's talk will help us with nuggets of information to go about our routine practice in a better manner. There used to be saying that the British Empire, the sun doesn't set in the British Empire. Today, we can very confidently say the sun never sets in the Tnoa activities. Today, 8 o'clock, we are having a walk the talk. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Gurukulam. And the show of knowledge sharing goes on. And I'm very happy to be participating in today's activities. And I look forward to the luminary of the day, Dr. Madhivanan sir's recipe of success. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hello, Mohan.
Yes.
Yeah, no, nothing. I'm just boarding the
Yeah,
flight.
you're boarding the flight. Oh, you want to say a few words before you go?
That's what.
Yeah.
I'll be there till whatever time. So I'm very happy to have Natarajan as a part of Madhi's brain. And I think all the time, allowed to work with him. And I became a veterinary surgeon only because of Madhi. I was doing the first year DO and he was doing the second year. And fortunately, we are friends from 1975. He joined in 74. And I think first time when I was in the college, Dr. M. Natarajan, that is Dr. Madhivanan's father, was the principal. So whenever they ask my name, we didn't ask the principal, your name, what's your name? Anyway, Madhi and me, I don't know how Madhi took interest as a friend with me, and also Siddharthan. And because of both of them worked with me all through, right, through MBBS. And even Madhi helped me for migrating from, he was the one who was worried how will I survive in Mumbai or Bombay at that time. And he actually even gave me loan when I left Madras to Bombay. I wanted to tell Madhi I returned. Madhi, I hope at that time he told that money was from my mother and he's giving me. And I still remember he was in a rental house near the A.B. Selvarangam's house, where Charlie was my classmate. He joined in a house agency in Madras Medical College. So I owe a lot, and I'm happy in 2000. I publicly acknowledged that when I got the Joseph Nyanadikam oration, that I learned indirect chromoscopy from D. And when I went to Rajasthan also, Madhi helped me to join, because Rajasthan didn't see my certificate, whether I was an ophthalmologist or not. And immediately after the DO exam, he took me. And I think there's no looking back. And I'm happy Madhi is part of me all the time in my life. and he has come. Even when I was making the OT, he was challenging how will you shift the patient and everything to the 3 flats we converted. So I think a lot of things Madhi has done, not only finance, my emotional, and with a lot of support when I started. That is, we are going how many years? 25, 27, 47 years. So thank you, Madhi, and I know I have the blessings of your parents. Thanks to Shalini, and I'm glad I attended all their sons' wedding. Now I myself, Vivian and Nishant are like sons of Madhi. So I hope Madhi will give me some property too. Thank you, Madhi.
Thank you, Mohan. That was really nice of you to have joined us. And here I would like to say that Mohan wanted to come and join. It was not seeing any other way, but he was very insistent that he comes and takes part. Thank you, Nati. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you, Madhi.
Nati is always integral part of a TNOA.
Yes,
No, because if you had not been because it's a luminaries of TNOA only. Otherwise, Nati would have been here as one of the top.
No problem.
And I would have.
No, I agree.
I want to do it before I lay down my office. I will do it for Nati once, definitely. Yeah, Nati. Thanks, Nati, and stay on for some time before
Yes,
the
yes,
flight.
I'll be there.
Why don't you ask the people to postpone the flight for another 1 hour?
It'll happen. Don't worry.
Anyway, yes. Quickly, what I'm going to do now is, I will not take much of your time, but I'm going to quickly share my screen here. You able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
yes.
Yeah, you can see. Yes.
Yeah. This month's luminary is none other than the hero of Tamil Nadu, the hero of India, the superstar. You can call him Rajinikanth, Amitabh Bachchan. You can call him anybody. But that is only one Madhivanan Natarajan. The genes cannot go wrong. His father, M. Natarajan, was the doyen of orthopedic surgery. His brother, Mailvanan Natarajan, as you know, is also an orthopedic surgeon, as a vice chancellor of MGR Medical University, done so much of reformation. And his sons and daughter-in-laws are doing much greater work as well. And Shalini, of course, is a person who's been completely behind Madhi and also taking care of the success of Madhivanan Natarajan or MNI Hospital for that matter. As I told you in the beginning, get inspired, motivated, rejuvenated. I'm sure you will do that and you will know that. As I told you, you can call him Sachin Tendulkar, you can call him Dhoni, you can call him Virat Kohli, Kapil Dev. Madhivanan suits everything. As Nati told, he is an all-rounder. Madhivanan can play in all the formats. You can give him a cataract, you can give him an SICS, you can do a vitrectomy, you can do a buckle. I've seen him doing some buckles. He's really fantastic. And Madhivanan is a person who really uses a lot of common sense and logic in your practice. And that is what I have learned from Madhi. Several things you can learn from Madhi. Each one, you take a pearl, okay? And from Madhi, how to use your common sense in your clinical practice. Madhi will teach you. And he's been teaching this not for 1 or 2 years, for the past 3 or 4 decades. Look at his illustrious career. MS Ophthalmology, DO, graduated from the prestigious Madras Medical College, post-graduation in ophthalmology in RIO, GOH, the second oldest eye hospital in the world, everybody knows, Vitreoretinal Fellowship at Shankar Nethralaya, and received the CU Shah Best VR Fellow Gold Medal in Shankar Nethralaya, which is again a very, very prestigious medal, which shows the, the high levels of quality and the ability Madhivanan has got. Madhivanan didn't stop with that. He wanted to see the advantage of Madhivanan is that he had the fire in the belly. Of course, he had a lot of belly as well, but he had the fire in the belly, which is very, very important. You need to have that urge. In phacoemulsification training with Mamose and Nishi in Japan, clinical practice at MNI Hospital, at that time it started in 1986, but still today it has become the premier eye hospital in this part of the country, in this part of Chennai, in this part of Tamil Nadu. MN, what do you call the Postgraduate Institute of Ophthalmology, MN College of Optometry. He's got a huge, what do you call, charitable work, doing huge number of free surgeries as well. Madhi has got the first in many things. He is the forerunner. He is the first mover, I would say. Why it is important to be the first mover? If you are the first mover, you are always the best. And that is what Madhi, because the first mover, it's not easy to become the first mover because you have to take a lot of chances and risks when you do the first mover. Earliest pioneer in phacoemulsification in India, I still remember way back in 93, traveled all the way to Tondayarpet to watch a live surgery. That was one of the first phacoemulsification live surgery conference. Am I right, Madhi? 93 or 94?
93.
93. I remember that first phaco surgeon in Tamil Nadu, first retinal surgeon to bring green laser in India, phaco trainer for more than 100 phaco. 100 will be probably an understatement, several hundreds. And now Livian and Nishant are doing that, India and worldwide. And he's really a fantastic teacher. He'll stand by the side and will tell you what are the steps and how, because teaching is a passion. And Madhi always used to do that with a lot of patience. Conducted live surgery workshops at live workshops at various centers in the country. Scientific papers, because he's no bunny as far as the academic achievements are concerned. 100 free papers in various state and national conferences, 8 papers published in peer-reviewed journals, conducted scientific courses in state and all India conferences, and even abroad as well. Present position, chairman of the MN Eye Hospital, Private Limited, which has become a gold standard eye hospital, I would say. Medical director of Dr. MN, graduate, postgraduate Institute of Ophthalmology for TNB trainees, 61st president of the Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association. And you know, it was a golden era at that time when he was a president. And he was also the secretary of TNOA, which is again a very, very important, as Nirmal was rightly mentioning. Contribution to TNA is really immense. Chairman of the MN College of Optometry and CM School of Optometry. Chairman of the NRM Dream International School at Thirumangalam, Madurai district. And this is what I want you to people to understand. Okay? You may be good in one thing, but going off the comfort zone and going and doing something else totally different is what I think famous for Madhi and Shalini. And this Dream International School, it's really been their dream, and they have done it so well. And it has become one of the top institutions in that part of the state, and Dream International School, and they are concentrating totally. Now, all of a sudden, just like Dr. Badrinath giving up surgeries one day, way back in 1989 or 90, Dr. Madhivanan, when Nivian and Nishant came into the practice, they just gave up the practice to them, handed over the mantle to them, which they are doing very, very good job, both Nivian, Nishant, Shruti and Pratibha. And it's very difficult to hand over a practice on a golden platter to somebody, and only Madhi, because of his broad-mindedness, Madhi and Shalini can do that. And they were not keeping quiet. They are not keeping idle. They are doing something else, which is actually more productive, more useful to the community. Educating children in the rural Tamil Nadu is something which is really commendable. Madhi is a multifaceted person. He is an all-rounder, as I told you, like Kapil Dev, has been doing organic farming from 1990, involved in rabbit in 2000, sheep 200, Yorkshire pigs, poultry farming, lover and breeder of exotic birds. I don't know how he's got time for all this. Expert dressage horse equestrian rider for more than bronze medalist in the All India Championship event, and judge for the Indian Horse Breed Show at Purushkar, Rajasthan. I have seen several times in Madras Race Club, we used to go for golf. Madhi used to have his horse, and horse riding is his passion. And it's something which is very, very, not very easy to do, horse riding. And Madhi did everything with so much of ease. Multifaceted Madhi is the luminary today for the walk the talk. Excellent clinician, great academician, super surgeon, multi-talented, and above all, a guru for everybody. A teacher just teaches, but a guru inspires. And that is the difference between a teacher and guru. And that is the difference between an ordinary person and a person like Madhivanan, Natarajan, and Shalini. They inspire. They inspire you, they motivate you to do better and better. And that is what Madhi has been doing. And see this family, it's like a university. You have every subspecialty of ophthalmology, vitreoretinal, pediatric ophthalmology, oculoplasty, glaucoma, everything. In fact, they can start a medical college also. And that is the reason the person is remembered by the legacy he creates, not by the work he does, but the legacy he creates. And that is what Madhivanan, Dr. M. Natarajan did, and Madhi has done for this, for Nivian, Nishant, Shruti, Pratibha, Madhi and Shalini have done. Friends, welcome to this most awaited Walk the Talk series with the Superman, with the giant of ophthalmology, a person who is known for lateral thinking, forward thinking, open-minded, very helpful, a friend, philosopher, and guide for all of us, particularly for me and Sujata. As I told you in the Tnoa mid-year meeting, Madhi and Shalini have been the role model couple for us. They inspired us, and that is why we are also successful to a certain extent because of the inspiration given by Madhi and Shalini. I'll stop sharing the screen here, and I also have the greatest pleasure of welcoming the panelists. Of course, Dr. Natarajan is there. He doesn't require any introduction. He's been associated with Madhi right from during the undergraduate days in Madras Medical College. And he's a past president of AOS. And he's a well-known guy in the entire world, I would say, the vitreoretinal fellow, vitreoretinal surgeon. And Dr. Natarajan, it's a pleasure to have Dr. Natarajan here. Dr. Murli
Thank you.
Ariga. Dr. Murli Ariga, again, doesn't require any #1 glaucomatologist in the country. He's the academic director also, I think, in MNI Hospital, very closely associated with Madhi for so many years. He's the director of Swami Eye Clinic, Chennai. And Murli Ariga is known for his expertise not only in glaucoma, but also in the anterior segment and other things, other specialties as well. Dr. Kishore, who is a classmate of Dr. Madhivanan in Madras Medical College. Kishore is a guy who is really bubbly, enthusiastic, always with a smile, and very, very happy to welcome Kishore here on board as a panelist, because Madhi and Kishore have literally grown together, and Kishore knows exactly the inner side of Madhi. And that is the reason we thought, okay, we'll rope in Kishore here to speak straight from the heart about Madhi. Over to the hero of the day, Dr. Madhivanan Natarajan, to share his journey. Madhi, all yours.
Mohan, before Madhi, only
Yeah.
one.
Yes, Nati. Hello.
Yes, Nati.
Hello, we can't hear you.
Not able to
Sorry.
hear
No, Madhi, I just wanted to say that more than my father, even though he was ophthalmology, he was also worried. You were also worried when I moved from Madras to Bombay that time. And I'm glad you were with me all through to start, and you were worried about how I'll get my money. And I think I did everything. And you are, in spite of you're a guru, but you still came. And after that, you again came several times to see what I'm doing. So that gave me impetus to do more. And every time you will tell me this is difficult to do. And I think I proved to you that I can do. So I think I want everybody to know, still I keep learning. And I admired you and Shalini for doing the school. And the Tesla car, everybody is talking. And Shalini had a poster on Tesla for Nikola Tesla for students. So I think I also have the spiritual connection of Swami Vivekananda and Tesla are friends. So glad, Madhi. I'm happy that you and Mohan gave me permission to be there. I'm glad still the flight is not taking off. I'll be there. but I will still, I hope I'll land also and still you'll be there in the meeting. And I will maybe and ask
Nati.
whether I'll give my, yes,
Nati, in a lighter vein, why don't you miss that flight and take an auto to Surat from Bombay?
Why not? Sure.
Okay.
Okay, Madhi.
All the
Really, I'll
best.
be
Thanks,
there.
Nati. Thanks for being
Thanks.
there.
Thank you, Nati.
Yes,
Over to
One more.
the Rajinikanth of ophthalmology, Madhivanan
Yes.
Natarajan.
No, thank you. So I wanted to tell one more point is in Madhivanan's name, I have Natarajan and Shalini has only Madhivanan.
Thank you, Nati. Bye.
Madhi, yes.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Mohan,
Yeah.
one of the most glamorous presidents of Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association. Dr. Natarajan, my life has been, and his life has been part of me for so many years together, from the undergraduates to now. Dr. Murali Ariga, as Dr. Mohan said, a fantastic glaucoma person who's been with us for more than 25 years. I remember the day that his father brought him, a very, very young person. He happens to look the same even now. He maintains his young look and said, "Doctor, I hand over my son to you." With such confidence, he came and left Murali with us. And Murali has been with us throughout. And without him, I think there are so many things that we could not have achieved. The academic side, the glaucoma side, so many things we could not have achieved. Thank you, Murali. Of course, Kishore, my very close friend, who's been associated with me, friends with me from undergraduate during our post-graduation. I'm so happy that Kishore is also here. And we have been maintaining our friendship for the past 30 years. To every Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association committee member, thank you all, my colleagues, my friends and well-wishers. Let me first thank you for having me here on this Walk the Talk. Dr. Mohan, today I am not going to walk the talk. I am going to talk my walk through ophthalmology and through my life. I am very happy that you have chosen me as a success story and you wanted me to share the success story. I'm still confused what you had considered as a success, whether it is a professional success or whether it's a financial success or a familial success or what I really was confused. But anyway, I will take you all through my journey of ophthalmology and my life. To all my friends here and colleagues, whenever I use the word I or me, it does not mean I and me. It always means we. That is Shalini and myself. Always. For the past probably about 25, 30 years. And after that, when I say I also mean Nivyan, Nishant, Pratibha, and Shruti. So it is a collective term of this success story. I wish to say that it cannot be only my achievement. It is never my achievement. And along with us came our staff, my team, everybody who has just traveled along with me. And then probably you can call this as a success story. All of you will be wondering why I took up ophthalmology. Coming from an orthopedic family, how I jumped into ophthalmology. In the 80s, probably 70s and 80s, Dr. Mohan will know, Dr. Natarajan, whose grandfather was an ophthalmologist, Dr. Mohan's father, Dr. Rajan, also was a very senior ophthalmologist. At that time, ophthalmologists were all called as Kannadi doctors. You remember, Mohan?
Yes.
We were all called as Kannadi doctors. And ophthalmology was actually the last choice. People who do not get any other specialty probably landed up in ophthalmology. And the life continued for them. But my decision to join ophthalmology was never like that. The decision to join ophthalmic, the field of ophthalmology was taken when I was a small kid, even in my schooling time. And the main person who inspired me was none other than Dr. G. Venkateswamy of Aravind Eye Hospital. Dr. G.V. and my father were classmates and very close friends. As the years went by, our family and the extended family of Dr. G.V. became very, very close together. I owe my ophthalmic life to every one of the Aravind family. When I was a small boy, I used to go to my native place, which is Palamedua, the Jallikattu village near
Yes.
Madurai.
Yes.
And during the holidays, I used to go in the evening to Dr. G.V.'s clinic. There, Dr. Soundrapandian, Erode Soundrapandian was there. And there I picked up a lot of, see, as a small boy, probably I was in the school at that time. And small things I used to help, applying drops, giving cotton to the patient. And even at that time, one of the things that Nirmal was asking, sir, please tell us everything what you did. I did not do very, very big things. I just made sure that I did the small things. At that time, Dr. G.V. used to teach me how to lead a blind person and make them sit down in the chair in front of him. Even now, you'll be surprised that some of our staff, when looking at a person, you know that he's blind, is walking inside our cabin, and when he's made to sit in that examination stool, and his leg usually hits the chair, and he stumbles. Our staff, you know what he'll tell? Paathu ukarunga, sir. Where he's going to see, where he's going to Paathu. So I tell them, he can't see. There's a particular way of leading this person. And from that day till now, whenever a blind person walks, I get up and then I lead him inside the museum and make him sit up. I teach this to my youngsters, to my postgraduates, to a staff. A small thing to start off, but then it satisfies the relatives, the friends, everybody coming along. And here I would like to thank every member of the Aravind family. I can always call them now in the way I usually call them, as Nachiyar Akka, Nambarmal Swami Mama, Vijay Lakshmi Akka, Srinivasa Mama. So I used to call them only like that. And the love and affection that we shared was tremendous, and they made sure that I went up the ladder in ophthalmology. The next generation of ophthalmologists, Dr. Arvind, Dr. Prajna, Dr. RDR, Dr. Kim, Dr. Kalpana, and they played a big role in how to groom the next generation of 4 people. And I'm really thankful to all of them. During my undergraduate, what I wish to express here is small things throughout your life which you pick up helps you in your practice as a cumulative effect. There is no magic that you can do like a wand and say that you have a success story or you get all your practice and you get all your patients and your money. No, it's a small things that happens throughout your life and you pick it up. During my undergraduation, I used to go to the operation theater of my father, not to help in assisting with the surgery. No, I will have to be there as an assistant in the OT assistant, OT assistant, where I was learning with enthusiasm and enjoying how to clean the operation theater. The floor of the operation theater, I clean. The walls, I will clean. I know what are the chemicals that are used for cleaning. How an autoclaving has been done. What is the pressure? What is the thing? Everything. Not just knowing, not theory. I'll have to do. And then instrument sterilization, instrument packing, I'll have to do. And I used to do it. Enjoy what I was doing. During my DO, it was Dr. Rajan, Dr. Mohan's father. I did 6 months of, special training under him. Dr. Namita was there with me. And that was the first introduction into ophthalmology. And from that time, even my DO, I had to do about 4 months of rotatory posting with Professor Rajan. And I learned a lot of, I had a lot of respect for him, where how he used to take care of the patients, especially people who are blind, especially people who are poor, especially people who have no contacts. And he's the first man to help. Everybody else, I have noticed that unless they have some influence and somebody else, they just go. But he's one person I learned. He will take care of the poorest of the poor man, and he knows that he is suffering. I've literally seen him. I've seen him get work for a blind man in what is the secretariat as a lift operator.
Yes.
You won't know.
Yeah.
He fought. I was there. He was fighting with the I think some secretary or something, and he got a job for him just because he was blind. Because he was blind. Such is that man. Thank you, Mohan. You are really gifted to have such a father.
Thank you.
And of course, Professor CPG and ETS and all the other surgeons. One thing, as an undergraduate, I would like to say all the youngsters, all the seniors are all here, but I would like to say the youngsters, things that you learn from the first is what will stay with you throughout your life. As an undergraduate, when you're doing, as a postgraduate, when I joined my DU, you should all be like a sponge. Absorb everything that you're able to get. Small things also you absorb. Keep it, store it, keep it here. You will realize that at one time, 10 years later, 20 years later, and when you squeeze that sponge, there's so much of knowledge, so much of wisdom that comes out of all the things that you have picked up during your life. I did my fellowship after my DO. There was a gap of 1 year. And in Shankar Netrila under Dr. SSB. And the first thing that he told me was, Dr. Madhivanan, my father was the chairman of the board of studies of Shankar Netrila. He said, the first thing he told me, you can join my institution, I'll give you a place, provided you forget that you are Dr. M.N.'s son. With that promise, I went there and I did my level best. And as again, I was a sponge. I observed so many things that was there. And one of the very important things that I learned was first in, last out. And my stint in Nethralaya for 1 year changed my outlook to ophthalmology. Because what I was always thinking, ophthalmology is a very, very easy subject, simple life that we can read. No, it is beyond perfection, and precision is what happens in ophthalmology. I realized it there. And the ease of learning all the most advanced techniques as indirect ophthalmoscopy, operating microscope, lasers, vitrectomy came throughout the whole year. We were literally made to learn. And every teacher there, like Mary Abraham, Chandran Abraham, Manju Kulkarni, everybody took part in training us. And definitely I did a little bit of extra effort to pick up all the things from them. I still remember the fluid gas exchange. Dr. Mohan and all the retinal surgeons were here.
Yes.
The fluid gas exchange that you all use with your machine. And you have this pump that works very effectively with the pressure and various things. At that time, there was no fluid gas pump. There was no air pump. You know that? But
Yes.
we were already started vitrectomy using the ocutome. We had the ocutome at that time.
Yeah.
And the procedure of fluid gas exchange for draining the SRF, internal drainage of SRF was already come into Shankar Netralaya. And as a fellow, we used the 30 ml syringe, aspirate, close, aspirate air, inject air, close. It was a thing that you'll have to continuously keep doing. I even get confused of what to tell when you pull and push. And many a times, you know, you pull at the wrong time, the whole eyeball collapses. And I know Madhinath will jump up from his chair and yell. And that made me think. You have to think when things do not go according to the plan. Definitely, you'll have to think. That made me think, and I brought in the air pump. You know, the air pump that we use for the fish tank, a good quality one, which I asked Arul also, which is good and with a little bit of pressure control and things like that. fitted up micron filter to that, auto gas sterilized the whole unit, put an on-off switch to that, and then kept it on top of the octotome, and we fixed it to the vitreous cavity. Beautiful endo drainage with fluid gas exchange. And I'm happy that that small equipment was lying down on top of the octotome, was being used every day for almost about 6 months there. Before that, Wilson and otherwise brought in their own models and it all changed. From there, I went into my MS after my VR fellowship. That is a very, what you can say, a feeling that you have stepped back in time. Every day you do so much of work as far as retina, indirect, so many things that are happening, lasers. And from there, you have to come to a reality of your MS ophthalmology in government ophthalmic hospital. It was a shock to me that I was not able to implement so many things. But then I landed up with a gentleman, Professor C.P. Gupta, and he's a great man and teacher. You all know him. And one of the things that really all of us must appreciate, Arul was there. He was doing his first year when I was doing my second year. When Dr. CPG used to call me and tell, get your indirect and come, teach me how to do indirect, how to do the scleral depression. It was so open. And from that, a point where not only you teach him, but you also learn something, Dr. Mohan, and all the others. What is it you learn? You learn that you can pick up things from anyone. You can gain knowledge from anyone. It can be your junior, it can be your senior, it can be your staff nurse, it can be your ayah, or it can be your driver. You will pick up something or other. So keep your minds open. And all these things help. And you can build up your knowledge. And during my MS and DO, I took part in a lot of camps. The camps also opened my eyes. At that time, it was only camps. I used to go there for the camps and do a lot of surgeries, injections, and things like that. But then, 10 years later, 20 years later in the practice, the concept of camps was not there in my mind, but eradicating curable blindness in the society started coming up into mind, and then we have been doing some work. After my master's, we went to Japan, to Dr. Momose and Nishi. Siddharthan and Chalni were there. And two things, again, I picked up there. One is the work discipline. The work discipline is when you work in a place, during the working hours, you only work. You don't chat. You don't do anything, any other nonsense. And the other thing is the road discipline in the society. In the road, when there is a man who wants to cross, a child who wants to cross the road, you stop. I have seen people here honking, pam, 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 and then trying to avoid the small boy, 5 years old boy who has come onto the road. And I have never done that in my life. And definitely that will help. And I've been telling my children and my drivers also to follow that rule. And it definitely works. 1986, we started our practice in Thandiarpet. Mohan also, when he introduced me, he said, I had to travel all the way to Thandiarpet. And people will say, you started in Thandiarpet. I said, it's Thandiarpet. It is a part of Chennai. I started inside Chennai. But then people thought that was somewhere else.
Before that, you had in Kilpauk, no? One clinic.
That
Come to the clinic, and because you are the first one to have the keratometry. Long keratometer.
Yes, during my
you already wrote.
Yeah, during my master's thing, Charlie and myself started in Kilpauk in my father's place. And there is another experience where Charlie and myself used to prepare the theatre, autoclave, bin packing, operate, and see the patients also. It was a really very, very smooth system that we were doing at that time. And it gave us a lot of confidence when we started our practice afterwards. And when we started with a small hospital. There's probably about 3 beds we had. And small theatre was about 250 square feet operation theatre. But our work was very hard. From morning, we start usually when the camps and everything, we start at about 6 o'clock and we finish about 8:39. We don't stop in the afternoon, half an hour or 15, 20 minutes for our lunch, and the whole thing continues again. So it is hard work. but then it was an enjoyable days. And some days when in the evening, when we don't have a case, OP case in the evening, Charlie and myself will decide, yes, let us run off to the nearby theater and watch a movie, and we'll run away. There's absolutely no tension. We were lucky ophthalmologists during the time of 1990 to almost about 20 years, 2010. Maximum development in ophthalmology occurred at that time, and we were part of it. We took part in so much of development that was happening in the equipment wise, in the surgical wise, in the IOL wise. So many things started coming up, new things, and we were all able to absorb them one by one. Equipments that came into the market. We did not just go and buy any equipment that came. No, we always studied that equipment, whether it was useful for our disease. And that is how every ophthalmologist should do. Just because you have a money and then you wanted to buy, no, it should never be there. Whether it's essential for your practice, and then you go and get the equipment. And before you really buy, you must really study that equipment, analyze that equipment, know how to operate it. Even the A scan, you must know how to operate it, switch it on, everything. And then you must buy. Not just the whims and fancies, you just can't buy. And as Dr. Mohan said, we brought in the green laser. It's a lot of decision that we have to, things that we have to bear. You know, it was always 488 nanometers, blue-green lasers. And when the green laser, 532 nanometers came, it was very difficult to make the decision. But yet, with the little bit of risk that we were taking, we got the laser, the crystal focus, and we have never looked back. I think India did not look back after that. The whole world did not look back after that. It was only green laser. I think the blue-green laser is almost gone. And when we buy the equipment, we do not buy it for any ego. Just because somebody else has got it, I want to buy it. Never do that. You do that, you are in a big mess. You will go into your various other tensions, you go into financial stress and things like that. Never get into that. You analyze it, being slow and steady, you can always go forward. And then came FECO. It was in the year 1990. Siddharthan, Dr. Premraj and myself, we got the FECO in the Calcutta conference, all India, 1990 or 91. And I started doing FECO emulsification immediately. And at that time, learning FECO was not easy because there was no training programs, there was no trainers, there was no CMEs, there was no webinars, nothing was there. So it was all by myself. It was the camp cases that I used to operate, and then spend a lot of time, a few videos we used to get from the company people, and then looking at them, and I used to record the scene. And when you record, night, I will always go and see that, put it in my VCR, it's usually the VCR at that time, and watch. Every step that I will do, I will watch mistakes that I have made, and then note it down. I will note it down. Next day, I will try to correct it. I may or may not succeed, but because there was nobody else to guide. And at that time, thanks to Charlie, she took up the whole load. I conveniently will operate about 3 or 4 cases for about 4 or 5 hours. And at the end of the day, I'll be zapped out. I'll lie down in the changing room of the operation theater and sleep off. And Charlie will wake me up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Let us go. So she used to take up the whole lot. That is one thing. And one more thing, along with this, the methyl cellulose that has become so very common nowadays was not available. IOLs had already come into the market. Methyl cellulose was not available. We used to have only air. And from Japan, we had brought the Dow Corning Visco material, the solid powder that we had. And I had already started making Visco for external use. I was worried about the internal use, so I was using it for external use, gonioscopy and lasers and other things. And I supplied so much of Visco to Baburaj. He was really taken aback and so very happy with the ease of which he was able to do the lasers. And at that time, Appasamy came to our hospital. And he had heard about this from Babu. And he came here, and how the whole Visco is being made, sterilized, autoclaved, and made safe for intraocular use. I gave him the full formula. It was from Dr. Momose. I gave Appasamy the full formula, and they started producing. I'm so happy that now everybody is using it. It just gives me a sense of happiness. Even now, my postgraduates, before you operate, now everybody is talking about FACO. Let us stick to FACO because the others will not be much easy. You should learn the basics. You should definitely know the theory. Without knowing the theory, you can't just go and operate at all. You must know what is fluidics. You must know what is the fluid inflow, outflow. You must know the pressure. You must know the oscillation, right? So many things you should learn. You should know the procedure. See hundreds of videos. Observe some surgeons. You should. Otherwise, don't touch. And learn the machine. Very, very important. One machine will be different from another machine. You must accept that. And learn the operating microscope. There are so many knobs here and there in the operating microscope. You loosen one knob as a wrong knob, you know the whole microscope will shoot up when the balance goes away and then it goes up. So all these things you should learn about the operating, and then you should know how to change the bulb. Some of the postgraduates don't know how to change the bulb. Where is the bulb? They don't know where the bulb is. You should know where it is, and you must know how to change the bulb. Your junior or the assistant might not know it, but you must know it, and then only you must operate. I insist on my postgraduate to go to the autoclaving room, do a little bit of cleaning of your FACO machine, your FACO tip, and everything, because all of them are tubes. Many of them are tubes. Vitrectomy tubes are all tubes. You should know how to clean them inside the tube, inside the cannulas. You must know how to clean it, how to autoclave it, how to pack it. You pack it the wrong way, your sharpness go away. You pack it the correct way, you will find that the equipments are staying with you for a long time. You must learn. I make them do it, making it very clear that no, I'm not getting work from you, I'm asking you to learn. And the operation theatre, how it is sterilized, they should learn. Very easy to tell, sir. What do you say? The one moody, that is the bottle moody of this particular chemical in one bucket of water, and then you clean. That doesn't work. There's one particular percentage in which your bacteria or a fungus or anything, whatever is there, will die. You should aim for that. Everything will be given in the brochure that is there along with the chemical. And you must read that, understand it, and make sure that your theatre person does it. Very important thing, again, cumulative effect. All these things, unless you do, you will not have any problems in the theatre. Results are good, the patients are happy, and then your success comes inside. You must understand. One of the very easy things for FACO trainees to come. FACO 1, FACO 2, FACO 3. What is FACO 1? What is FACO 2? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Correct.
They've finished FACO training itself. But no, that should not be. You must know how to change. It is not, somebody has set it for himself, somebody has set it for one particular machine. It might not work for you. So you must spend a little time and change the parameters that will be best suitable for you. And you have started your surgeries. Fine. But how many surgeries you have done this month? 100 surgeries, sir. Very good, very good. How many of them have seen corneal haze? Only a few, sir. Okay. Now, how many vitreous loss you had? Only some, sir. Vitreous lens drops, only 1 or 2, sir. See, nobody knows. But when I ask him, sir, I'm very good. I learned very well, sir. No. There should be a clinical audit of every case that you do. A clinical audit of your cumulative cases that you do. 100 cases, you must have analyzed all the 100, put it in an Excel format and analyze how your results are. You will know that the corneal haze in your surgeries is almost about 70%. You will be shocked. And then correct yourself, learn, ask somebody, and you slightly become better. These are the things, very, very basic things that help in your success in the long run. Teaching and training the youngsters has been my passion always, has been always my passion. And I have had comments from senior people who say, don't train them, you be the first person to maintain it like that. No. They feel that they become a competitor. No, they will never, nobody becomes your competitor. You all complement each other towards a particular cause. This is what really happens. Never anybody whom you have trained becomes your competitor. We started the DNB, we started the fellowship, we had the FECO training programs for Indians and foreign ophthalmologists. Of course, teaching made me go into optometry. There was so much of opposition from ophthalmologists not to start the optometry college. But I remember my father starting the physiotherapy college, and he had all the criticism. And he also used to say the same thing. Never, they will never compete. Because they were telling that optometrists will start right in front of your hospital and all your cases will go there. No, it is not that at all. I am so happy now that wherever I travel, Tamil Nadu or southern things or in India, a few foreign countries also, the optometrists who have trained in our college are working there. Hospitals, doctors' clinics, in private organizations, optical shops, everywhere. I'm so very happy that we followed. From the year 1990, the year that we started the JNVR charities, we have been doing community work. We operate almost about 200 to 500 cases every month, free of cost, free food, free IOL. Everything is done. Patients are going to go and drop them at the house. A huge expense, a huge demand on the physical demand of the doctors, the staff, the nurses, the ayahs, everyone. But yet, it gives us a lot of tremendous amount of pleasure to operate on these people when we know that we are doing a lot of work, community work, especially eradication of blindness. And here, Dr. Mohan,
Yes.
a very, very important thing. Yes, you feel that you have all succeeded and become good. You should have an exit plan when, depending upon how things are moving out in your essay.
Yeah.
Why is this exit plan? You should always give space for the next generation when you feel that they are coming inside. That is when the next youngsters are coming inside. Even before Dr. Nivian and Nishant joined us, Charlie and myself used to discuss how and when we should exit from ophthalmic practice. I will tell you, Mohan, it is very easy to talk about exit plans, but it is very difficult to take that particular decision
Absolutely.
of quit and then stick on to it. Because you have quit when you are young, probably about 53 or 54, when your hands are steady, and when you're in your peak, when you're teaching people, when you're going and demonstrating surgeries, and then you say stop, which is a very, very difficult situation, very decision to take. Getting hurt retired is different. Becoming invalid and then going out of practice. I'm not talking about that. But before you exit, careful. We will have to have a careful plan of what you are going to do after you exit. Because if you don't have anything to do, then again your brain will stop functioning and you will go bonkers. So you should know what you're going to do next. Nivian joined us 10 years ago. And the first 3 months, he had been in Netra, in Urban, then in Netralia, and he's operated so many cataracts and retinas everywhere. And when he joined in 3 months, he was with us, looking at the OP. He used to operate the CAM cases. It was always SICS with a rigid lens. And one fine day, something clicked in my mind. I said, Nivian, come with me to the theater. I was having about 6 or 7 paying cases. And I told him, watch my FECO cases, topical. He was watching. And after about 3 or 4 cases, I told him, why not you do the FECO? I had not given him any training. He just watched. And he said, do, I will stand by your side. And I was sitting, as usual, if anybody is here who has seen me training, I have a very comfortable chair behind the surgeon and a big monitor. I will sit down on a chair, not a stool, a very comfortable chair. And then you continue. And I will never interfere with the surgeon. And I saw him do the first case of FECO. Perfect, probably about 5-10 minutes. It was a block case and everything went on well, rigid lens. The second case was, I told him, why not you do a foldable lens? He has never done a foldable lens. The first foldable lens he is doing, and we used to use a holder at that time, not an injector's holder. And he saw me doing 3 cases, and they said, yes, we did. And I told him, why not you try the last patient as a topical? So topical, phaco, foldable, and he finished it in the same 5-10 minutes. At the end of surgery, you will not believe me, I took out my gloves, took out my apron, and called all the staff. Everybody was very happy that Naveen had done something great. And they all wanted biryanis and cakes and things like that. Staff nurses. I called them and told them, thank you very much for the cooperation you people have given me for the past 20-25 years. This is the last day I'm coming into the theatre. I will not come here after. Naveen will do all other surgeries, and I walked out. And I've never stepped into the theatre after that. I've never stepped into the theatre after that. I've never operated after that.
Fantastic.
Then the staff and everything, they did not realize what was happening. Yes, a couple of years later, Nishant walked inside, and Chalini also followed suit. But she had double problems. She had phaco and LASIK also to give away. So that was a very difficult thing, but yet she also followed, and Nishant took over and then has been doing good work.
Amazing.
We have been planning, not when Naveen came, before that, 15 years, that we should start a school in Tirumangalam in the village there. After we came out of active, ophthalmology, we went into teaching children. We were enjoying our teaching of the optometrists. But then we went there, the small village. It is a Sathamudi, it's a small village in Tirumangalam, probably about 20 kilometers from Madurai. The NRM Dream International School was born. We have a farm there. So we spend a lot of time in the farm also. Living along with nature gives immense pleasure to us. 15 days there, 15 days here. We really are enjoying our life. But we keep in touch with ophthalmology. We keep in touch with our hospital. We keep in touch with our patients. We keep in touch with our accounts. We keep in touch with our staff. Everything we'll do. And then I love to maintain the cleanliness of the hospital and the toilet. I want the toilet to be as clean as the operation theatre. And so many times I've told all the PGs to come. I will show you something. I will take them to the outpatient, to the toilet of all the patients, and go inside. 10 students will be standing. Make them all stand there and keep talking something. People just lift up the pant. No, what is there? You allow your patient to come into your toilet. You should make sure that your toilet is also clean. So I'm very particular about that. And that goes a long way in making your hospital very comfortable for your patient. 2 divisions of practice. One, of course, ethical practice, good practice, effective practice. Very, very important. 7, second very important thing, Mohan, is more for the youngsters.
Yes.
Financial management. Not investments and everything. What you have so much of money extra, you want to invest in gold, you want to invest in shares. I'm not going to talk about that at all. Only for the young people. Now, if birth and death is compulsory, it will happen. So also we all must realize that income tax is something compulsory. Everybody will have to pay income tax. Tax planning is accepted and good, but tax avoidance definitely is bad. You should read about basics of accounting. You should know the basics of the financial analysis. Never have an auditor. You know, an auditor, you'll have some auditors who say, sir, nothing, don't worry, sir. You give me a bank book and your checkbook. I will put up any account and then submit to the IT. No. Never go near such a person. You have a tally, a very, very small, simple thing. You can take the basic one. Have a part-time accountant who will enter all your accounts inside. There are 2 statements that you should basically know. Profit and loss statement and your balance sheet. The profit and loss. What money you earn is your income. What money you spend is your expense. Every income, enter it. Every expense, enter it. Get the bills. And you ask your accountant to club these 2 together, analyze these 2 together and give you a statement. He will give you a profit and loss statement. That tells you how good you have performed that year. A balance sheet. What is an asset? What is a liability? Asset is something that you've already bought, money that is already there. Either it can be immovable, it can be movable, it can be a cash, it can be a bank, it can be FDs, anything, gold, anything. All that is the asset. And then your liabilities. What is it you owe somebody? If I owe Mohan Rajan 5 lakhs, that is a liability. You owe your vendors, you have hundreds of IOLs, you'll have to pay. You've taken loan from bank, you'll have to pay. So all these things you'll have to, again, put it into a sink, you will have the balance sheet. And this helps you to develop your financial discipline in your life. And that also helps in your success. Friends, ophthalmology, before I close, ophthalmology is not the only thing in life. You should balance your family and your profession. All our senior people have all told you how to balance your family and your profession. Family and children definitely will need time. They will need quality time, not quantity time. Not the percentage. 70% of the time you will have to spend with them. No, nothing with that. Quality time you'll have to spend with your children and your family. Hobby, definitely have. Mohan Rajan has, golf. And I love my farming and my horse riding. It definitely is a stress buster. Definitely all of you should have something or anything, gardening, anything you do. Health is very important. Have to be cautious about what you eat, how you exercise and things like that. Keep in touch with your friends. Dr. Kishore is there. Madan is there. Dr. Siddharthan, Dr. Paneer, Dr. Arul. We all take some effort to always keep in touch, move with each other for so many years. And that is another very, very important thing that will help you long time in your walk through your life. Enjoy whatever you're doing, a profession or any other hobby that you do or any other work that you do. Enjoy fully what you're doing. And lastly, enjoy the journey which is called life. Mohan,
Yes.
enjoy the journey that is called life because you pass through that life only once. Thank you.
Fantastic. Madhi, I'm giving a standing ovation for you. I don't know whether you see me standing
Yes,
here.
yes.
Madhi, it's been, as I told you in the beginning, no, it's every walk the talk, it's been totally different story. And your story was truly inspiring and remarkable. Remarkable because you told us something totally different. And no, I'm going to, before I go on to the panelists, I want to just highlight certain things of what Madhi told. Absolutely no ego. Everybody should take, I think, messages from this. Golden messages. Work discipline. Open-mindedness. No substitute for hard work. Commitment. Passion. Constant updating and upgrading of technology. No rat race. Just because there's no peer pressure. Just because somebody else, neighbor has got this, he doesn't want to buy. Introspection. Self-belief, conviction, knowledge of everything. Madhi always used to tell, just like Dr. Badrinath, please read the manual before you touch the instrument. Always, I remember Madhi telling that. And work-life balance. Enjoy the life. And above all, fantastic exit plan and giving space to others. What an amazing journey, Madhi. I think it's truly remarkable. Madhi and Shalini, I think you have carved a niche for yourself. You have taken an untraveled path to attain glory, as Abdul Kalam says. Now, I want to get a few words from Shalini. Shalini, I know you've been behind the success of Madhi. And Shalini, I want to ask you, what exactly was the inspiration for you? I know Madhi was motivated. What inspired you? What motivated you to become better? Was it Madhivanan or was it of your own?
Thanks, Mohan.
Yeah.
In fact, my ophthalmic journey was very, very comfortable because I was traveling with Madhi and I was following his footsteps. Getting into ophthal, of course, because of Madhi. He only wanted me to take up ophthal. And to be frank, my passion towards ophthalmology developed only in Shankar Netralaya because of our guru, Dr. S.S. Badrinath. I'm having very, very, very high regards and great worship for Dr. Badrinath. And we were all very lucky to be associated with him in the early 1980s. See, that time he was giving individual attention to all his fellows. And though I was doing my pediatric fellowship under Dr. Surendran, and I was the first fellow in pediatrics, all others, it's known for its vitreoretinal work. Though I was in that, our chief was very particular. All the fellows should be well versed in indirect ophthalmoscopy.
Absolutely.
And he's very particular that all of us should also do our retinal drawing and the work discipline, as well as the involvement in patients' rapport, quality eye care, and maintenance of each and every equipment. I know once when the generator was down, he took Madhi along with him with the manual. He sat down and made the generator all right, and he made it work. So like that, his involvement in work, all these things add on my passion towards ophthalmology, and he's such an excellent surgeon. The cataract surgery, we cannot see any bleeding spot. Even for one model and all, he operated even retinal surgery without any mark or even any redness in that eye post-operatively. So all these things fascinated me towards ophthalmology. And of course, as Madhi was telling, my father-in-law, I was working with my father-in-law in orthopedics for a year. I learned a lot, the clinical practice from him. And again, the rapport with the patients, how it should be, and how the theater should be maintained, and how you should scrub and wipe your hands, everything. He was also very meticulous. I'm very, very lucky to have my ophthalmic career or medical career with two doyens, my father-in-law and Dr. S.S. Badrinath. And today I am very, very happy to see the cover story of our chief in Indian Journal of Ophthalmology. And it was so nice to go through the statement about our chief. So I'm my sincere thanks to him. And of course, Madhi, he is also a very, very meticulous surgeon. I like the way he does the surgery. He's a very, very cool surgeon also. One thing I want to share, he was telling towards the end, enjoy your life. That is his statement always. See, when a situation arises once in our lifetime, I mean, once during our practice, there was a corneal transplant. The patient was ready, the donor eye was ready, but of course, the surgeon was not there. Only two of us were there. So one has to handle the OP and another one to be in the theater. Madhi said, you go to the theater and do the corneal transplant. Really, I was panicking because I have never done any corneal transplant. That's my first case. That too, paying patient, we'll have always some fear when we want to do something on the paying patient first time. He just told me one sentence or a small thing. Enjoy doing it. That's the only thing he told me. Really, that's a magic word for me. That gave me a lot of confidence. Really, that's my first corneal transplant in the theater. I enjoy doing each and every step of that transplant without any hurdles. And my mind was very clear and I was very confidently, I was able to handle it. So that's the way he trained all the doctors, whoever PGs, whoever it is. First, he'll make them confident whatever they are doing. And he'll teach each and every trick of the trade to the students, to anyone. That's the greatness of Madhi. And of course, I enjoyed my ophthalmic journey. And I feel I'm thankful to God that all the children, all four of them have taken up ophthalm and they are also doing good work. And really, I am thankful to all the teachers and all my teammates, all our ophthalmic colleagues. Thank you so much, Mohan.
Thank you, Shalini, for the nice, inspiring, I would say, talk. And First of all, hats off to you and Madhi for the wonderful productions you have done. The productions like Nivian and Nishant, and of course the daughter-in-laws also. Really wonderful. What a team you have, really, and taking it forward and taking your vision forward. Now we go on to the panelists, Dr. Murli Ariga and Dr. Kishore. Murli, you've been associated with. Yes.
I have landed in Surat.
Yeah, 1 minute, Manati. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you, but because we want to take Murli Ariga's views on Madhi.
Fantastic. I'm so absorbed in listening to the people speak about Madhivanan and family that I am really awestruck, and I think I'm literally lost for words. I think first time I start off by first acknowledging that my career in ophthalmology and my career in glaucoma, I owe it entirely to the MN family, particularly my guru, as you say, pointed out. There's a difference between a teacher and a guru. He has been my guru, my mentor. Sometimes I even call him my father, and sometimes I say he's my elder brother. I'm not really confused as to what is his position in my life. So he has been my sort of mentor and guru. And my glaucoma career was launched at MNI Hospital. And he has literally put me into my career in glaucoma, first encouraging me to do independent glaucoma surgery, like how Dr. Chalni was pointing out. He put me on to the first trabeculectomy which I've ever done in my life. And he would literally stand behind somewhere and not interfere with the surgery at all. And within a month or two of my glaucoma practice, he literally sort of held my hand and encouraged me to go into VIP patients. And the first VIP patient I operated upon glaucoma surgery was Dr. Chalni's father-in-law. And he said, just go ahead and operate. And I said, are you sure? I've done only very few glaucoma surgeries. And he said, I have absolute confidence in you. And literally, like the way Dr. Chalni said, I think he literally holds your hand, gives you that confidence, and you can literally achieve and go to greater heights with just that confidence and that pride in confidence in you. And similarly, I have been associated with the MN family, Dr. Chalni, of course, and I've been very closely associated with Dr. Chalni in so many aspects of camps, clinical practice, day-to-day care of patients, and every aspect of, say, clinical management and financial management, and so many personal things which we used to discuss. I think I don't really have words to discuss. He has helped set up my practice and achieve academic excellence. And now I'm proud to say that MN Hospital and myself have gone into more than 60 peer-reviewed publications, in many journals, many 12 to 14 book chapters. I think we really reached the pinnacle of academic excellence. And I'm really happy to note that the MN family is continuing the same path with Niveen and Nishant, going ahead with further publications and numerous awards, numerous international awards and publications and so on. And I do remember one particular incident with regards to Dr. Madhivanan, and there were very few oculoplastic surgeons. We used to literally everything in ophthalmology in the first few years in our practice. And there was a patient with a cavernous hemangioma in the orbit. And Dr. Madhivanan said, I want you to operate. I said, sir, I have not even done anything in the orbit. They said, I will help you. Let us go do it together. So he helped me with the orbitotomy. We took out the zygoma. We used to remove the zygoma, the lateral wall of the orbit. And he said, close your eyes, put your gloved finger and feel the orbit. Look into the orbit. Feel the orbit and feel the mass in the orbit. And just go around it with your finger. And literally a finger dissection with your closed eyes, you will be able to take out the cavernous. It is exactly that way that the tumor came out. And
amazing.
He gave me a pat on the back. The first and he was holding my hand doing the orbitotomy. So I still can't forget the day in which the confidence with which he lets you do things. And this has been an amazing journey for me in ophthalmology, in glaucoma. I think no words to describe my career in ophthalmology. I also remember a particular kind of instruments he used to buy for the hospital. He would simply say, go for the best technology, go for equipment. Without hesitation, he would buy instruments and equipment, even though it is new and daring and people have not done it before. An expensive Rumex glaucoma punch, which was the first of its kind in glaucoma practice about 15, 20 years ago. And I'm happy to say that I use the Rumex glaucoma punch today in surgery in MN Hospital. The same punch which he had got me the Rumex reusable punch about 15, 20 years ago. And I still used it today. So I really was thinking of you as I was using the punch today, that you bought me something which I still cherish and I still use in my practice. And lastly, just a quick thing about the work-life balance. You always used to say, Murli, that this is not just about academics. You should not focus only on academics. Stop the PG thought. Move on to your practice. Concentrate in your life. Buy yourself a car. I used to drive a two-wheeler. He says, stop driving the two-wheeler. Buy yourself a car and move on to family and move on to balancing your life. Academics is not the only thing. You must start to do other things as well. So the work-life balance is something I've really learned from him and family. And I continue to associate with Nivian, Nishant, Shruti, and Pratibha in a great way. And I really enjoy my interacting with them. And I think it's a fantastic family. And the very practical approach to ophthalmology is something to be seen, to be believed. It is not corporate. It is not truly making money. It is not just purely academics. It's a mix of everything. And it's a real wonderful, enjoyable journey. I think that thing comes from the head of the institution. I think that's where Madhi stands, a father figure, an elder brother, and a wonderful husband, and a fantastic colleague. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Murli. Thank you, Murli.
I think Murli hit the nail on the head. Fantastic. Really, because you have got this thing, and the philosophy of MNI Hospital is in between. So because they got the merits of both the systems, and that is the reason, that is because of the vision of the leader who has made it possible. Now we go on to Kishore, who's been with Madhi right from the undergraduate days. And Kishore, as you know, is a very, is a great friend and a great human being as well. Kishore?
Hi, friends.
Yes.
Hi. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes. It's really nice to talk to all the friends in the Tnoa Walk the Talk series, which is a brainchild of our effervescent, energetic Mohan. And Mohan's energy really, I can't believe, unbelievable and beyond my comprehension. Really great. Regarding Madhi and myself, we know each other from the hostel days. And from that time, we have been very close. And I've seen Madhi starting a clinic, as you said, in the Kid Park, growing to number of multi-center super specialty hospitals with all the state of the treatment now, which is ably managed by his children, Nivian, Nishant, Shruti, and Pratibha. Great. And some qualities I want to just highlight. One quality about Madhi is his positive attitude. He's always optimistic. I've never seen in my life any negative about in any situation. Even if the situation is a little adverse, I've never seen pessimism in him. He's always optimistic. He said everything will be all right. Don't worry, everything will be okay. That is the attitude he's been having to this date. That part stands apart in him. Secondly, his helping tendency. He's eager to help everybody. Even when he was building up this hospital, he will give the advice to other doctors who were having their hospitals, giving them advice, giving them what to do. Everything, whatever knowledge he had, he wanted to part with others. Not like, not many people, because he himself was learning so much. But even then, he will give advice to everybody like that. And to his close friends, he'll go any length. I know to what length he has gone to some of his non-ophthalmic friends. So I know, to his friends, he's a pillar of strength. You can depend on him on anything. Like, see, even when we were studying and when I started doing FACO, as we said, there's nobody to teach us. I went one day to his theater to learn FACO for a couple of days. He said, you keep operating, I'll keep watching from down. That is the day they fixed up the monitor where you can watch from his table. So I was struggling, but I was very confident Madhi is watching me, and somehow finished the cases and came down. And that fellow is still fixing it up. I said, Madhi, depending on you only, I went to the theater. I was so, you have the confidence I'll be watching, That's why you did very well. You did very well. Don't worry everything. That is the type of person he is. Then he said, okay. Then I was just operating in Prem Sai Clinic. I used to watch videos and see Madhi's clinic cases and Prem's clinic. And then one day he said, you take my phaco mission, keep it for 3 months in your silo mission hospital, learn. That is the way he pushed me to learn phaco. So that is the attitude you'll have. He wants everybody to prosper. It's not like the only I will do that like that. That is the attitude he has got. This thing, hats off to you, Madhi. And lastly, I want to highlight his knowledge in auditing. Not many are aware. He can teach a thing or two many auditors. He's so good. If they ask him anything, he will be able to answer. That is the thing. And so much thing I want to tell, and everything Mohan has told. So I don't know what else to tell about Madhi. But he is a couple of years younger to me. But when Madhi is around, I feel my elder brother is around. That is the confidence he gives to me. I really love you, Madhi.
Fantastic. Kishore, that was, I think, straight from the heart, Kishore. And you know, what you rightly told was the positive attitude and the open-mindedness to encourage everybody. Many people will think, okay, this guy, if I try to train, he'll become a competition to me. But Madhi doesn't think like that. He's a rare breed. Both Madhi and Shalini, they will also encourage, they want to share the expertise, not for 1 or 2 years. It's been happening for 3 or 4 decades. Continuous. That because it's coming from the family, from the top. The genes, as I told you, cannot go wrong. And Kishore said it right. Madhi, we are all very grateful to you. We are blessed to be in the same era as you are. Seriously, I'm telling you, we are blessed to be in the same era as you and Shalini are. You have been inspiring for all of us. And both of you have been a role model couple. In my opinion, the gold standard couple. And, you know, training Murli Ariga in trabeculectomy, a couple of weeks back in the surgical strikes, Murli Ariga demonstrated one trabeculectomy on March 6th it was. It was fantastic surgery. It was a copybook style, I would say. And hats off to you because you have started the entire ball game with Murli Ariga's thing. Nati, last few words, and then we have to close the session because we already crossed 9:30. And
so one small word, Mohan.
Yes.
Only person to match in your energy and your this thing is Shalini. Energy level, I don't think anybody else can match this thing.
Nati.
Yes, Mohan. Thank you again. I think I'm happy I could join back. And when Kishore got MS and I didn't get it, I was upset. But I'm happy later in life. But I think Madhi is. I already told many things, but I think Madhi is, as Kishore said, and also all of you said, he has helping tendency right from his college days. And so I'm happy that I know him from 1975. That means 47 years. And thanks for Madhi to tolerate me because I keep joking and do anything. And then he has visited me several times. I just told him 2 days back he should come back and be with me for a week. And I told Kishore, you're also welcome, and all of you. Thank you, Madhi, for having me.
Thank you.
You have to thank all of us. All of us have been tolerating you. Go to Dr. Ravi Shankar, member of the management committee, for the vote of thanks.
Hi, Madhi.
Ravi Shankar.
It is indeed a pleasure to the vote of thanks. But before that, I would like to say, talking about a leader, it's always great. Keep listening to all others about a leader. You get inspired. You get so much inspired. Things about these stalwarts. One.
Your audio is breaking. Ravi, your audio is breaking.
Are you able to hear me now, sir?
Yeah.
I think some signal problem. Anyway, I'll try to finish it as fast as possible. I think 2 things. One, when I was just senior resident at RIOGH way back, there was a Tnoa conference in Taj, Connemara, where I just walked inside with Dr. Sendil. I was a senior resident of Sendil was DO. I could see 2 people, one after the other on the stage. I was pretty junior. One was Dr. Shalini Madhivanan, who in fact roared on the stage. For me, ophthalmology was a little in those days, and I could see a woman exploring ophthalmology during those days. Only then there are women ophthalmologists. Today, ophthalmology is something great where women dominate, where women are the leaders. Very happy, Dr. Charlie Madhivanan, to be associated with you. The second thing is Dr. Madhi, sir, during one of the AS conference 14 years back, when you had chaired a session and Dr. Mohan was one of the speakers, he sent me that he's getting delayed. He was in another meeting, probably another session, and he sent me to tell you that I don't know whether you remember, that he's getting a little delayed. I was a little frightened. I was pretty junior at that time. I came onto the stage and told you, sir, Dr. Mohan sir is getting a little delayed. You just turned at me and just said, ask him to come fast. That's the only thing. With a mighty look. So that frightened me really. And only after that, I understood you're gentle, you're humble, you're such a wonderful leader. So thanks everyone for this wonderful Walk the Talk. President, you've been great inspiration to everybody, and you've giving us the inspiration by having this Walk this Talk conducted with all the luminaries. And today, a great man, a great leader, a legacy which is left behind for their generations to continue. A man who's strong, with a strong woman behind him always. Dr. Madhivanan Natarajan, thank you so much. Thank you, Tnoa, for this wonderful day. And we salute you, sir, and keep inspiring us forever and ever. Thanks a lot. Good night to you all.
I'll be failing in my duty if I don't thank the back-end team, Numerotech, Manju and Sai. They've been doing wonderful work. And of course, this Walk the Talk series is being powered by Intas Pharmaceuticals. And of course, stay tuned for more activities from Tnoa. On April 8th, the Tnoa ARC PG Catalyst by none other than Ramesh of Mahatma Hospital, Trichy, on pediatric ophthalmology. And then we have the Walk the Talk next, on 24th April, we have the Tnoa Connect series with Shankar Netralia. And in between, we'll also be having one more webinar. And next Tnoa Walk the Talk will be on May 6th, if I'm right, with the Vice Chairman of Shankar Netralia, Dr. T.S. Surendran. Stay tuned. See you soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Charlie. Thank you, Mohan. See you all.
Sir, hi.
Nishant, Nivian.
Thank you, Madhu.
Thangavel has just joined.
Sir, thank
From the beginning, Mohan.
yes, Mohan sir.
Listen to Madhi
Thank
from
you,
the
sir.
beginning.
Nishant, Nivian, Steve, thanks a lot. You've been really
Thank you so much, sir.
Hi, Nisha.